Good day, good day. Welcome. Thank you to all my coastal riders. I'm Sherlock, the one and only Sheik, and we're here for Coast to Coast. With standings wise, we got Detroit, New York, Miami, Cleveland, Milwaukee, 76ers, who I didn't think they was going to be as good. I'm not going to lie. Edgecombe I knew would be solid, but I didn't think the rest of them was going to keep them afloat. Embiid, when he is playing, he is solid. He has a couple games where he's bad, but Embiid is Embiid. Whether you like him or not, he's a solid player. He's elite. I'm not even going to say just solid. Orlando Magic, they should be better, I believe. I don't know what's going on with them. Chicago Bulls, they was leading in the East, but we all know that was gonna falter a little bit. They was just playing with house money with those wins. But now they're a little falling, but I think they're like middle of the pack. Maybe could be into the playoffs a little bit. They're gonna be good. Boston's falling out. I feel like people expected more from Jaylen Brown, which I understand, especially with that contract. You would expect a lot more from Jaylen Brown, because I think if they had just Tatum and no Jaylen Brown, I don't think they would be that bad. I don't know, but maybe that's just me. I don't know. And Indiana and the rest of it is kind of not really worth it. Toronto Raptors, I told people, Toronto's going to be a solid team. I think Toronto could sneak in and get that 6 seed, maybe even close to the 7, 8, but I think they could snag that 6 seed, given that Milwaukee or Philly, like, they don't stay healthy or they don't stay good, but if they stay good, then I feel like they're going to be more of a play-in team. We got this All-Star game where, let's talk about the All-Star game now. They want to continue doing World USA. I get it, and it's only because of the expansion into European teams, and I think it says 2027, and it says the times of India from my reference. So I got to look more into that, but it's saying it's going to be a European-based league, like maybe a development league somewhat in Europe, and I like that, but what's going on with bringing Seattle's team? Why does Seattle still not have a team? Like, let's talk about that. Seattle needs a team. I know Seattle look a little crazy. I live in Washington. I know how it be, but Seattle needs a team, man. It's a major city in the West Coast. Portland's a good team, but Seattle needs its team back. Seattle needs its team back. Either Seattle or Vancouver. But then, what if there's a lot of people who can't even get to Canada? So we gotta bring Seattle back. Let's talk about the Western Conference now, because I don't want to drag too much on the East. Let's kind of talk about the West. We got OKC leading. Detroit. Why do I keep saying Detroit? I don't understand that. San Antonio. Something must be up with Detroit that I keep saying Detroit. I don't know why. I keep referencing Detroit, and I'm not even meaning to. But San Antonio, as I said before about Wemby, that man is going to be, he's the best player in the league. I don't care what nobody say. Wembanyama is the best player in the league. But the West is looking good. You got, I think San Antonio's 8-2. I think Denver's 8-2 as well. Let me check. Yes, San Antonio and Denver's both 8-2. Lakers are 8-3, which Lakers look really good. Their future looks really, really good. A shout out to them. I like that. Houston, who I thought was going to be more better, that's not a word. I thought Houston was going to be more put together, at least. Like, I feel like a lot of people were putting too much faith into Kevin Durant, where, as I said, San Antonio, Detroit. Oh, why the fuck do I keep saying Detroit? I swear, if that's somehow the finals, if somehow Detroit is in the finals, I'm gonna be fucking tight, because I keep saying Detroit, and I don't know why I keep saying Detroit. I like Detroit, but I am a Knicks fan, but I have no idea why I keep referencing the Detroit Pistons. It's kind of pissing me off, but I digress. the Houston Rockets. I think people were putting too much faith into Kevin Durant. Whereas we're looking at Russell Westbrook. A lot of people are looking at Russell Westbrook and they're saying, oh, Russell Westbrook, he's falling off. Russell Westbrook this, Russell Westbrook's that. But we don't look at Kevin Durant in that same way. Why? Because he won the championships. He was doing all that scoring. But what team was he on? He was on Golden State Warriors. After that, he went to Phoenix with Devin Booker, one of the best scorers in the league. And what did they do? I'm just saying. So we expect more in Houston. I did. I'm not going to lie. I did. But that's my fault. You got Minnesota, where I think everybody talking about Ja going to get traded, which I feel like I want to talk about that for a little bit. But I think Ant going to end up getting traded. I think within the next 3-4 years, Ant is not going to be in Minnesota. I could see him in Miami. I can see Miami doing something and somehow, some way, getting Anthony Edwards. I'm going to talk to my mans about that. Maybe he's going to call in a little bit and try to get on the pods. But I think Anthony Edwards in Miami, that could be a championship team right there. Clippers, I don't know what's going on with the Clippers. They just falling off the face of the earth. But then you got this stuff where we're not talking about it, that Tyronn Lue is in that investigation as well, with Chauncey Billups and Damon Jones in them. Because it's a whole crazy mix. I would hope not, but it's a whole crazy mix with that. The NBA Cup. Right now, the Knicks is not doing well in the NBA Cup because we lost the game. I don't even think I watched that game because, again, I was dealing with some stuff. But I didn't watch that game. Miami is up in that Group C. Detroit is up in that group. Toronto is 2-0 in that group. They're doing well. The Group Cup, though, we can't really consider that anything. It's more of a soccer thing. It's more of like like they say, an in-season tournament. Right? Unless you watch soccer or you have watched soccer, you wouldn't understand the even reasoning for the NBA Cup. But I don't watch soccer often, but I did when I was younger. And my daughter watches soccer. So I kind of try to watch it as much as I can. And it makes sense. And I think it keeps it interesting in it. The East, as I said in the beginning of the season, it was looking a little crazy, the East and the West, but it's going to kind of shape up to more into what is going to look at like towards the end of the season. I feel like by mid-December, we're going to pretty much see who's in the playoffs. It's just standings-wise, it might look a little different. But pretty much by mid-December, end of December, by the end of 2025, we're going to understand, for the most part, who's going to be in the playoffs. It's just, as I said, standings might be a little different, where a bottom-tier team might jump to the top, a la Boston a couple years ago, a la Miami. Well, you never know. You never really know. But back to the Lakers. Let's talk about the Lakers. The Lakers is doing their thing. Like, shout out to dominating Ayton. Like, I didn't think he still had anything in him, but clearly he does. I like that. I like Austin Reeves being able to carry the team. I like Luka going off, basically averaging 40, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check his stats. If I'm not mistaken, Luka's averaging damn near 40. 37.1 points a game. Rebounds, 9.4 a game. Assists, 9.1 a game. I'm gonna end my video talking about the team he left, because I feel bad for every player on that team. But shout out to Luka, who is more than likely going to get the MVP this year. Either him or Wemby. I think one of them two is going to get the MVP this year. It's, as I said, going to the All-Star game, they know that. So it's like we're trying to push that European run, that European rush. I'm not mad at it. If it's talent over there, it's talent over there. For us in the U.S., we need to step our game up. We can't be mad that other places in other countries that they see the game that we invented and they getting better at it, it's okay. That's how we improve the game. Competition is competition. Listen, I love it. I love it. Lakers is looking good. We got Marcus Smart basically leading the team in steals. As I said, dominating is doing his thing. He's only getting one block, but I'm surprised at that because he's not really a shot blocker. He's just a big body. But he's doing his thing. What's his stats? In 30 minutes, 16 and a half points, 8 rebounds. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I feel like he could step it up, but for who he is, it's not his fault he was a number 1 pick. He shouldn't have been a number 1 pick. That's not his fault, though. You can't blame him for that. But I'm going to end this video. I'm going to end this video talking about the Dallas Mavericks. I truly feel bad for that fan base. I said earlier, a couple minutes ago, I only feel bad for the players on that team, meaning the organization wise. But Nico, shout out to Kofi on YouTube and follow him on Nebula and everything he talked about. But he made a good point. He said he thinks Nico did it for the sense for his ego, because he wanted to, because he got rid of basically everybody who was close to Luka. He basically got rid of everybody in Luka's circle and did it seemed out of spite, because if you trying to trade 2 second-round picks for Kyle Kuzma, which is coming out in reports, I think that was Tim McMahon who put that out. Somebody, I'm sorry if I got it wrong, but if you was trying to get 2 second-round picks for Kyle fucking Kuzma, how do you only get a 1 first-round pick for Luka Doncic? How the fuck is that possible? I don't care if you got Anthony Davis. I don't care if you got Max Christie, who Anthony Davis is a Hall of Famer. Max Christie's a solid defender and a solid corner shooter. But for Luka Doncic, you got 1 first-round pick. Lakers had another first-round pick. You mean to tell me, for that man, you couldn't have got 5 picks, 3 firsts, 2 seconds, in years to come? You mean to tell me you couldn't get that? No, you did the trade out of spite. And you're wrong for that. You're horrible for that. And you got clipped for that. Now, I do think somewhat you're the scapegoat. But I do think you was also the man behind the trade. I felt, for whatever reason, you and Luka didn't get along. And you didn't like certain things. You felt he should move a certain way. I think it was a power dynamic. You felt at the end of the day he was the player, all of that, and he should do what you say because you know best. And I kind of get it, but at the same time, I do also feel like organization-wise, the people who just bought the team, they also didn't mind because they knew within the next 10 years, the Dallas Mavericks is probably not going to be the Dallas Mavericks. They're probably going to be in another city. More than likely. So as for that, how do you feel literally costing your job? You will never, more than likely, never be a GM for another team, because I don't think another owner or another whatever would take the risk of the fan base completely turning against them just to hire you. And to say, I don't want to say that because I don't like costing people their money. I don't want you to not be able to take care of your family. But as an NBA GM, you are not in. You do not belong in that seat. I'm sorry, maybe another chair you could do. You was an agent for a while. Maybe you could go back to doing that. I don't know. But as far as a GM in the NBA, the National Basketball Association, you can't do it. And I'm gonna end it on that because, like I said, I don't want to go on this crazy rant. I didn't even really talk too much on my team, but I just wanted to hurry up and get this out because I have something to do later. But nonetheless, that's it for today, at least for right now on the Coast to Coast. Later on, I'm gonna post another video, record, and do everything I have to do. But that's it for right now. Thank you for watching my videos. For the few people who are watching my videos, I truly thank you. I truly thank you. It's very appreciative. And that's it. I'm your host, Sheik, the one and only Sherlock. Peace. Stay coastal.